me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do the last book haul before Christmas, if you will. I don't make too many book hauls, but I did make one back in August because I have been buying more books this year because I have a job now, so I have income to buy books with. It's very exciting. Once I started, I in fact now cannot stop. But I have bought a number of books since my last book haul, so I thought let's do another one before the end of 2023, and then we can start fresh in 2024 with the books I'm buying. By we, I'm mainly mean me. Honestly, I didn't think I bought this many since August, but I did. And my bad, but also my good. Let's just get right into the books. So the first one that I have here is actually one that I'm currently reading right now for a reading vlog. You'll see that later. I think I'll probably post this before the vlog comes out because I'm still reading this book. But that is Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in Eyre 2 of Mistborn, and I buy these in mass market paperback. It's the only series that I buy in mass market paperback, and that's because Mistborn, The Final Empire, that first book in Eyre 1 of Mistborn, was the first Brandon Sanderson book that I bought. And let's be honest, Brandon Sanderson isn't out here really writing tiny books that end up being inexpensive. So I didn't want to buy the normal big size version and then potentially it not be for me. So I bought the mass market paperback, and now I'm trapped in buying the mass market paperbacks because I wanted all of my Mistborn Eyre 1 books to match, and then I was like, well, I can't have my Mistborn Eyre 2 not match my Mistborn Eyre 1. So this is where we're at. But I bought the second book in this series. I have to say, I did read the Alloy a lot, and I don't quite love this as much as Mistborn Eyre 1. I really enjoyed reading Mistborn Eyre 1. This is kind of just a very different vibe. This is kind of more crime fantasy fiction, and I don't think it's a style of writing that Brandon Sanderson necessarily thrives in, so I've been not disliking this but not loving it. I talk about it more in the reading vlog that doesn't exist yet but will exist, and you can watch it. Oh, I talk about it with Alloy a lot in my November reading wrap up. If you want to hear some more of my thoughts on that there, you can check that out. That's book number 1. Where am I going to put all of these books? Sure. So I also actually have been buying some secondhand books, not too many, but there is a used bookstore called The Word here in Montreal, and I do like to drop by every now and then to see what they have. I find it's a good place for classics. They have a lot of philosophy. They also do textbooks, so if you are a McGill student and need used textbooks, go to The Word. But I did buy a copy of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte in the Penguin English Library paperback. I do love these editions. I find they're really pretty, and I have read Jane Eyre, but it was in the edition that I want to collect classics in, so I couldn't resist, so I bought it again. I need to store this on my bookshelf better because I realize that it's starting to get splayed. This book is starting to get splayed because it's not being stored properly, I guess, up on that top shelf. So I need to fix that. My bad. I'm sorry, Jane Eyre. I also bought The Golden Compass by Phillip Pullman. I have not read any of his dark materials, and I just saw it there and I went, you know what, why not? I'll buy it and I'll read it eventually. I think this is another one of those series that was really extremely popular when I was younger, but I just never read it. So I am definitely interested in reading this series eventually, and when I saw it at the used bookstore, I thought this is a perfect time to grab myself a copy of the first book. So I did. What is next? Oh, another classic. I like how I don't even know what's in my own pile of books that I made 3 minutes ago. But I bought another classic, another Penguin English Library edition, because again, I love them, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This was on my 23 books in 2023 list, is one of the top classics that I kind of really wanted to read and get to this year, and just in general, it was one of my top priority reads. I ended up reading this in October, just in time for Halloween and the spooky vibes. I have a reading vlog where I'm reading this, and I did did really enjoy it, so I'm really glad that I bought myself a copy to keep, because I think this will be a book that I'll also want to reread in the future. I then have As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the third and final book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I feel like the one downfall of this trilogy is that it's just named after the first book, and the first book has an obscenely long title. It takes way too long to say that. But anyway, this is the third and final book, so naturally I had to buy it because I own the other two and I needed to finish the series. I did also read this in a reading vlog. I'll just link all of the reading vlogs that are related to any of the books that I have read. I kind of buy books like as I'm reading them, so I don't have too many books that I've bought and I haven't gotten around to reading yet at this point. Yeah, I think I've probably already talked about the majority of the books I'm about to talk about today, but you know, this is a book haul. We're just talking about books I bought, and this is a book I bought. So I now have all three of this trilogy, and I've read all three in this trilogy. It's a fun time. I would recommend. I then have A Treacherous Curse by Deanna Raybourn. This is the third book in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. This is one of my favorite series that I've been reading. I absolutely loved Curious Beginning. I also highly enjoyed A Perilous Undertaking, so I was really excited to get around to the next book in this series. I believe the 9th book is going to be coming out sometime next year, so I really need to be reading more of these to get myself caught up, because I don't want to be behind. I want to know all of the tea that happens in the other books, but I've only read 3 of them now, and there's 8. This is the dangerous thing about liking cozy mystery series, because those things never end. And you're like, wow, how many people can die around this one investigator? This is starting to get concerning. But Veronica and Stoker, I love them. I will always love them. Deanna Raybourn knows how to keep me in her clutches with the slow burn. Okay, I'm here for it. The will they, won't they. So I bought the 3rd book, and I'm planning to buy the 4th book. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas. I put the 4th book on my Christmas list because I was like, I know I'm gonna have this read and I'm gonna want to read the next one. I finished this and I immediately wished I had the next book to pick up and read, because I just really like being in this world. I do actually think I have entered my romance era. I know I've been talking about becoming a romance girly, but I did not think I became so much of a romance girly until I realized the number of romance books that I've bought since August. So this whole next section is romance. First, I have Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. This is the 3rd book in her A League of Extraordinary Women series. The first book is Bringing Down the Duke, and I think that's probably the most known to ring a bell in people's minds of what this is related to. But this is historical romance series that I had a fun time reading the first 2. I read the first 2 actually quite a while ago, and I've been kind of meaning to grab this, but I just was getting like more excited about reading other books, so I was buying those first. But I did finally grab this from Indigo the other day, so it is on my shelf now, ready for me when I'm ready for it. I then have also bought the fine print. Oh no, don't fall over, how dare you. I bought the fine print and Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. These are the first 2 books in the Dreamland Billionaire series. So I first bought the fine print, and then I read the fine print, and then I liked the fine print, so then I bought Terms and Conditions. And I haven't read this yet, but this is it's coming up quick. I want to get to this very, very soon because I think I'm really gonna like it. I know some people don't like these covers, but I really adore these covers. I think these books are so cute and pretty, so I really wanted to own them, and now I do. Then once I read this, I'll probably buy The Final Offer, the 3rd book, which I think is like everybody's favorite. I don't know why I didn't just buy The Final Offer when I was buying Terms and Conditions, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna read the whole series, because I'm planning to read the 2nd book in a trilogy, and it's like, I just don't see me being able to only read 2 books in a trilogy and then be like, I'm not gonna read the last one. Like, you're gonna read the last one. You should have just bought it, but I didn't. So I guess that's something that like 2024 Michaela can accomplish. I then have also bought Icebreaker, which I loved and adored. I read it over Labor Day weekend, and because I did, I bought Wildfire when it came out, and I've read this. These are both by Hannah Grace. They are in her Maple Hills series. There is a 3rd book in this series that is going to be coming out in June, and I'm So excited. I think these are like my favorite romance books that I've read, especially Wildfire. This was 5 stars for me. I did have some problems with Icebreaker, but this was glorious. I loved every second. I think these are like great rom-com-y vibes in books. And they also made me realize that I think I actually might be a sports romance girl. That is something I'm going to be investigating in 2024. Stay tuned. Stay tuned while I fully enter my romance era in 2024 and find out if I'm a sports romance girl. Why did I say girl like that? So because of the sports romance hypothesis that I've had, I bought Consider Me by Becka Mack. Do I have any idea what this is about? No. But it is blurbed by Hannah Grace. It is apparently popular on TikTok, which I would not know about because I do not have TikTok. I refuse to have TikTok at this point. It's part of my personality to not have it. Nothing against people who do like TikTok. It's just like, I missed the bandwagon and now it's too late for me to jump on it. And also this cover was really pretty, so I had to buy it. And it's another sports romance, so this is gonna be part of the investigation. This is part of the analysis. Honestly, I had to buy this for scientific purposes. Duh. Also hoping to read this soon, but I don't think I'm gonna get to it until the new year, which is like kind of too bad, but that's okay. Like, not too sad. We're just fine about it. It's like there's just other books that I already have been planning to read, as you would know if you've seen my end of year TBR. But yeah, I did buy this kind of on a whim, but I do not regret it. I think it was worth it. Also, like, it was on sale. It has a pretty cover. It's blurred by my favorite romance author that I've read so far because I haven't read that many romance authors. But for the time being, this Hannah Grace is my fave. And it was on sale, so like what was I supposed to do? Not buy it? Hello? No, absolutely not. That would be blasphemy. And then the final book that I have bought since August is this tome right here, which is Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. Now, I'm reading the Inheritance cycle, and the first 3 books I did not have to buy. They were in the possession of my parents because one of my sisters read them growing up, and then I had my parents mail me those books so I could read them. But of course, there's 4 books in this series. I know Murtagh exists. I know there's a 5th book. I refuse to believe of its existence within the series. I think it's like a spin-off. In my brain, it's like an extension. In my brain, it's like a companion novel. I don't care if you claim it is part of the series. I'm living in my delusion. Thank you. So there's 4 books and I only own 3. And I was like, there's no way. I cannot own 3 of the books and then read the 4th one digitally when I own 3 of these books and there's 4 books. Like, I won't be able to handle it. But I also was not going to spend the $39 to buy it, okay, because it's like 850 pages. And of course, my parents, okay, way back in the 2010s or whatever, and books weren't insanely expensive. We're living apparently a very lavish life and bought hardbacks for my sister. So I'm like, I can't buy a paperback because it needs to match the other books. So it needs to be a hardcover, right? I need this book to be the hardcover to match the other books, okay? So again, I saw it on sale and I said, this is my moment. This is the time, buy the book. So I did it. And you know what? I think it's actually like multi-purpose because I bought this in hardback. I can now read the book. The book will match my other books, but I can also use it like as like a bulletproof armor because it's so thick. I think it in fact could save my life. That's my justifications. Now, that's all the books I've bought since August, which, considering I spent basically the entire first half of the year not buying books, is a lot of books. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy that all of these books exist. Like I said, a lot of these I have read or I'll be reading really soon. I think other than Consider Me, all of these books were books that I'm like pretty confident I was gonna like. I don't normally buy books not knowing anything about them because I plan on keeping books for a very long time and rereading books. That's why I buy them. If I wasn't going to be rereading them, I probably would not purchase books. I read them in some other capacity. But there we are. How many books did you buy this year? I think, including what I bought in the first half of the year, I think I probably bought maybe like 20 to 25. I don't know the exact number. I haven't actually counted because I'm afraid to. But I think that's, you know, I feel like on BookTube, that's not that many books. But for like regular life, that is a lot of books to buy in the span of a year. That's like a book every other week that I'm purchasing. Quite the bit of money. But they bring me happiness, so I'm happy. And that's kind of it for the video today. So if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. Do let me know down below, how many books have you bought this year? Which one was your favorite? Or which one are you most excited to read? Or both. All of the above. You can answer all of the above. And with that, I will see you in the next one. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Bye!